Hello, everybody. Welcome to a wonderful Metroid Prime 2 Randomizer Weekly. My name's Mr. Mary, and I'll be your commentator today. We have a great race for y'all today. We have the amazing Captain MD going against Baja Blood. On that note, we are running our odds settings today. We have warp to start. Final bosses are removed. Double damage, unlimited beam ammo, unlimited missiles. Our starting location is randomized. And our translator gates are randomized with the possibility of them being automatically unlocked. This is sure to be one interesting race, folks, and I'm gonna be here the entire way. Current predictions. Well, what do we predict? We have two amazing runners, both highly skilled in their trick level and knowledge abilities. Uh, Based on how everything's going, we could see a lower Corvus play. Could see some shenanigans over in Inghive. This race is a complete mystery. But knowing how it's been lately in the last few weeklies, lower Torvis has been completely excluded, except for maybe Hydro Dynamo Chamber. Yep, we've yet to see an Alpha Blog, yet to see Power Bomb Guardian. So hey, today could be the race. With that being said, the timer is off and both runners are starting to rock and roll. And look at that, we're starting off in Aegon Waste with our Amber Translator and our Morph Ball Bombs. With me today is Op82 doing our tracking, so huge commendations to him. And we're starting off already in the Morphle panel, picking up our space jump. Well, they've got a whole lot of access now that they can double jump and bomb. They've got access to Dark Aegon if they choose to head over there. And they possibly have access to Temple Grounds, depending on what the elevator is. All right, we have two different routes here. We have Baja heading into Mining Plaza A, or Mining Station A, and Captain going back to pick the hint in Mining Plaza as our power bombs are in. Alrighty. Well, let's see. Where are these runners going to be heading off to today? Oh, we already got our spider ball with more fall bombs. That puts the item over here in Mining Station A in Logic. Amber Transit, we'll put that in. Looks like Sam Cat hiding in. Oh, let's see there. Amber. I'm just checking that data from Baja. Oh, that is Emerald. We can't keep things up quite yet. Baja making great use of the standable to pick up his missile expansion early, giving him access to early missiles. He does not have the launcher, but launcher is not required. As we have expansions to fire mock missiles. Although we did get our hint for Quadrax, Quad's only guarding an expansion, so we don't need our Sanctuary Temple keys yet, unless UMOS 2 has a card for guarding the energy. Captain also making great use of the sustainable by jumping on the Wasp Hive to get into the collision. And Baja's heading straight for Portal Chamber. Oh, space jump to be found 3 rooms away. Well, thanks, Dan. We already found that in. We don't need extra dark ammo. You have space jump. You have more. They're able to get. They're able to get Broom Closet for Trial Tunnel, and they're able to pick up. No, they can't pick up that third item I'm thinking of. Oh, yes, they can. Oh, they got Junction Site open as well with that space jump. All right, what's hiding on Crossroads and Dark Transit? Well, seems to be just a light ammo expansion. And thankfully with space jump in hand, this makes the jump heading into Jump Guardian's room a lot easier, as we're able to take the reverse path and not cut through the dark side of Mining Station. Although Baja's playing a little risky with his health, he's running a tad low, but he's a senior player of the game. It's no issue for him at all. Although with being so low, he should take this extra time to grab some ink caches and get some health. Lucky there with a golden drop. And Captain making his first steps into Aegon. Oh, correction, Dark Aegon. I obviously cannot see today. I was making a smart play here, checking broom closet, make sure to get this check out of the way while he's here on the first run. That's coming back to it. It can be a pain. And lucky for him, it is a Violet Translator. Now with Translator gates randomized, we could have Violet anywhere. Could be an Aegon, could be hiding in Sanctuary. It's a whole mystery. Alright, for those of you who might be new to Metroid Prime 2 or out of the loop on this certain trick, what Baja's doing here is Jump Guardian. The thing with Jump Guardian, his actual hitbox is spawned in front of the statue where the cutscene would normally play. Now since his hitbox is spawned in, we're able to start shooting at it and effectively get him down to 1 HP before triggering the cutscene. But when the cutscene actually triggers, a few power beam shots and Jump Guardian's practically dead in seconds. This saves you from going through the entire fight. Now Captain's just now about to realize where his Violet is. Well, Baja not quite getting all the health down, but that's alright. As a few charge shots later and Jump Guardian is no more. Captain's running at extremely risky on his health, down to 4 HP. Now, what's behind Judgment Pit, you say? Well, I'll tell you. It's a cheeseburger. This gives us our power bombs early. Granted, we don't have our main power bombs, but we're still able to use them as the expansion gives us one for free. And lucky there, hiding on Junction's side is an energy tank. Energy is always helpful when you don't have a suit in the dark either. While Captain go ahead and take care of Judgment Pit with Jump Guardian, utilizing the same trick to kill him while he's effectively not spawned in. And it looks like Baja's gonna be heading towards Light Aegon. He's all done with checks down here in Dark Aegon. He's not able to get in Cache 4 as it's locked by Dark Beam. And we can't make any progression towards Dark Labs from this angle, as we don't have our super missiles. Now we could make a good prediction that Aegon is hiding our super missiles. If you want to see a fairly quick clearing of it. Or they could be late hiding in Sanctuary, or they could be vanilla hiding in Torvus Temple. Well, I hope everyone watching is having a great Saturday. It's a beautiful March day, the sun is shining. Not too hot, not too cold outside. And we're all gathered here to watch Baja pick up his main power bombs hiding in Transit Center. Alrighty, well, power bombs puts a lot of things into logic for us. We're able to grab a Fabricated Dynamo Works over in Temple Grounds. It puts the missile expansion that we got at Mining Station A into logic, since we can now effectively break the Denzium block. Finding out where his power bombs are right after we pick them up. Gotta love the hints in this game. Yeah, we got something hiding on mining station. We're not able to tell what that is from this angle. Looked like it could have been a visor, looked like could have been an expansion. Alright, so we got Baja heading over to Temple Grounds for the first time, and Captain's heading back over to Light Aegon. He'll be picking up his power bombs ever so slightly. And looks like we came out on Fortress Transport Access. Dark Torvus Temple key is hiding in Sky Temple for at least one of them. That's not something you want to see. And thankfully the gate is amber, and since the game started us with amber, we're able to continue on through into GFMC compound. Now with power bombs in hand, looks like Baja's going to be heading over to Grand Wind Chamber, take a quick peek at what's hiding up top. Let's hope it's not something major. The amount of times I've personally seen Sky Temple keys or Dark Aether keys on there is way too many. Nope, couldn't get a good look at it. Looked like it could have been dark ammo. Oh, or possibly a dark burst. Making great use of a scan jump. We're able to get into Wind Chamber Gateway and see a red key. Which key is that for? Is that Aegon's? It is Aegon's. Well, we could have a more purpose. And Baja's going to use another scan jump to get over. Great work, first try. Now with Jump Guardian down, we are able to pick up the item on top of the GFMC ship. So we're able to get both items here without having to come back. Missile expansion is in the crate. Captain's going to be duping that to get two missile expansion drops. Thankfully the game allows us to dupe the crate item, especially handy when you have an expansion on there. And it looks like our missile launcher was on top of compound, would you look at that? Now, as stated earlier, by using a slope jump or coming in GFMC compound from the unintended method, you bypass the cutscene trigger and are able to get the crate item and trigger the cutscene. And in the cutscene, forces the crate back into it due to scripts. Yep, and we're going to get our elevators for Torvus. Transport to Torvus entrance, Temple Transport Amber. That should lead over to Great Temple, Aegon Temple access. And Aegon Portal access. Well, everything's going to Aegon today. Baja's choosing this time to break open the missile gate and head towards Dynamo Chamber. And we're able to get communications area as well, so we're able to get 2 items and then a third on Temple Assembly site. But unfortunately, the gate needs to be reloaded for us to use power bombs on it, as we're unable to get through it with the first visit. Look at that. There we go, gate's destroyed. Now we can continue on our merry way. Now it's going to be interesting to see how these runners divert their routes if they choose to do so later on. Now, they both are extremely skilled and out of bounds, and with their advanced knowledge of the game, they're able to go anywhere that the game doesn't want them to. So we could see a huge route change, we could see them follow the same general route, depending on what the game gives us. But finding a missile expansion under a power bomb, that's just one expansion for another. Now let's figure out what's on Temple Assembly site and task jump. Oh, that looks shiny. Shiny usually is a good thing. It is! There's our screw attack. Well, we've got space jump, screw attack. They can get practically anywhere now. Anything that's not locked behind a beam, that is. And Captain MD following closely behind, picking up his expansion, and about to find his screw attack. I'm sure he's going to be ecstatic over that one. Oh, and he misses the missile snipe, but he gets it on the second try. And Baja's picking up his hint for a cursed lake. What do we have there? We have a key. Ooh. Well, it could be a Sky Temple key, or that could be our Dark Torvus key. We did get hinted to one being in Sky Temple earlier. What's hiding on this elevator? What do we have? Oh, pick it up. There we go. Well, another missile expansion. Game really wants to give us missiles today. Boost ball is in Torvus. Looks like Temple grounds. And Baja, with that hint in mind, he's going to probably be heading straight for it. And thankfully this gate, we're able to scan it from behind and destroy both the red locks from the opposite side with a well-timed missile. And, well, Bomb Guardian isn't defeated, so we're unable to get Hive Chamber A. But we are able to get Hive Chamber B, where the bomb block is. Now, you have bombs, you have power bombs, you have everything you need for this item. Might as well get it out of the way while you can. That way, if it's something major, you have it, and you don't have to come back here later for it. Although granted, if Dark Missile Trooper and Hive Chamber A has something, we still have to come back. Oh! Well, aren't you glad you looked there, Baja? You found a Dark Aegon Key 3. One more and you're off to fight a Morbus. And utilizing the wonderful warp start, Baja is able to warp straight back to Aegon Wastes. This cuts back a lot of backtracking going through compound, communications area, dynamo chamber. It just cuts out all that troublesome walking. I'm going to apologize to everyone watching in advance if this is a little bit more quiet or less talkative of streams compared to what you're used to on this channel. I'm only one man and can commentate so much here, but we're going to do our best. Doing our best is what matters in life. Yeah, as long as everyone has a great time, both watching and playing, following along at home, and anything you do in life, as long as you do your best at it, that's what matters. And it looks like Baja's going to go ahead and destroy these bomb breakables while wait for the cutscene trigger for the bomb guardian to spawn in, utilizing his time wisely. Can he get the quick kill? He does. He did get the quick kill, utilizing power bombs on Bomb Guardian. Although it is a little bit tricky, you do have to get his tail and his head in the same explosion, roughly at the same time, so that he dies instantly. Get one or the other and he won't die. Speaking of importance, we have a Sky Temple hiding a Bomb Guardian. That's a very helpful item. And Captain's gonna take a quick peek at Mining Plaza. Can't figure out what that item is though. Oh my, is that our third key? That is our third key, Baja. Well, you know what that means. And the secret launcher can be found in Torvus Bog. Not a great location for it, but it's also not bad. It could be in a free one, could be in Torvus Lagoon, could be hiding in Under Temple. Well, Under Temple would suck. It could be hiding in Great Bridge, Forgotten Bridge. Could be hiding on Temple. It could be a number of places in Torvus. And Captain utilizing his time to go back and check Grand Wind Chamber and possibly Wind Chamber Gateway. Baja makes the first entry into Pirate Labs. He's able to get a few checks here. He's able to get Mining Station B, and we're able to get Command Center. And we're also able to get Bioenergy Production. We can get that item. But since we don't have Boost Ball yet, we're unable to get Sand Processing. Unless they do a trick with Screw Attack and a standable on the turret to bypass the need for Boost Ball. Yep, Captain picking up his Aegon key. Oh, and he stopped the Screw Attack a little early. Oh, what I'm hoping for, hopefully the game gives Baja or Captain a Dark Beam would be nice, but I would prefer Light Beam since they do have Spider Ball, and since they do have Screw Attack, they'll give them some checks over in Sanctuary. Yeah, they could. If they do find Super Missiles here, we could see a Torvus play. Although it depends on which elevator they head for. What do we have hiding in door number 3? We have a Power Bomb expansion. More Power Bombs are always helpful. Alright, now Baja's going to destroy just the boulder blocking the entrance. As with Screw Attack, we're able to cross the gap, and we don't need to worry about anything else. What do we have hiding on Battleground today? We have a beam-related upgrade in the in-cache. Ooh. Now that very well could be our super missiles. We don't need super missiles to get into Battleground at all. Now with that being said, Captain's going to be making his entry into Pirate Labs. So he'll be picking up his Battleground sit, getting some more missiles, which are always helpful. And Baja's not going to bother with the pirates, just going to obliterate them with a Power Bomb. Well, at least it's quick and painless death. If I was Baja, I'd be heading straight for Worms. We don't have our Amorbiscent yet. And if what he saw in Central Mining was a great item, then doing this now would be extremely useful. That, and we don't really have many other checks. It'd be nice if Amorbis had our Light Beam. It'd be even better if he had our Super Missiles. Or the Amorbis could just be trolling us and have just another expansion. But I doubt it. I believe we're going to find something major here on Amorbis today. Now, we don't have double damage, we don't have our Light Beam, and we don't have any Super Missiles to make this fight easier. Granted, we don't even have Seeker Missiles. So we're in for a little bit of a long fight. Not the worst fight out there, but not the quickest. So making quick work of the first worm. Granted, we don't have boost balls, so it's unlikely that Baja will pull off worm skip. But knowing Baja, anything's possible. Now, Captain MD's falling a little bit behind here, but it's nothing that he can't make up. You know, we've seen racers come back from huge time losses before. And there's a lot of places that this run could go wrong. They could take a wrong turn, they could make a horrible route decision. Yeah, it's anybody's game. And we're only a half hour in. And then already Baja, are you gonna go for a worm skip? Or are you gonna just play it normally? Now he's going for it normally. No worm skip today. Oh, and that nasty worm just fired a dark blast at that crystal that Baja was using. There goes your safe zone. And Baja's on the final phase of Amorphous, making great time on him. Well, we have Captain entering labs and triggering. And picking up his power bomb expansion. Alrighty, wonderful. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do in Pyro Labs right now, so we're going to be making a swift U-turn and heading right back out. As we do need our Dark Beam to get our Dark Samus 1 item. And we do need it for Storage B. We need to trigger the portal. Well, the portal could be triggered with Annihilator if we find that in a good place. But we don't have Light Beam to come back out. Let alone Dark Beam to really progress through Dark Labs. Oh, and Captain made a little bit slight error, falling off the ledge, but it's quick recovery. And we're able to get the hint for Battleground. Oh, and sadly Baja's got to sit through Worm Rave. That's something you don't want to see. Although it is beautiful, it's shiny and purple, it's a wonderful color to look at. But it's horrible for time loss. Now Kevin's probably thinking the same thing. He's got all three of his worm keys. He's probably thinking that Amorbus has something useful for him. Oh, Baja, be careful, you don't want to die. Oh, no! He couldn't come back in time, unfortunately. He lost too much health. Did he pull off a safety save? Oh, please tell us that we have a safety save. But we have our power bombs, we got our bombs, we have 5 missiles. Oh, that is tragic. That is something you don't want to see. And he was at the last phase of that fight, too. He almost had it, but just a little bit of health. And he wasn't able to enter the safe zone back in time. Either that, or he got hit by a Morbus on the way out, losing just enough damage to knock him out. But he's not out of this race, everyone. We're 27 minutes in. He's got some items to help him through. Baja can make a great comeback, as stated earlier. Though we will be asking Baja what happened at Morbus. See his feelings on that after. So stay tuned after the race, and we'll hope to get his insight on that. Meanwhile, Captain NB's entering Worms. We're going to be taking down Amorbus. Trying to, at least. We don't want to see him die as well. But thankfully Baja's taken this good spirit. He's not forfeiting, he's not turned down this race. He knows it's still early. There's a lot of opportunity that he can come back for. There's no need to give up, Baja. We got a long race ahead of you, buddy. As stated earlier, it's going to be duping the missile expansion, get a little bit more. More missiles are always helpful. Unfortunately, we do have a lot of backtracking for Baja, though. But Captain's making great work on Morbus, coming down to the last of the first phase. Oh, is Captain going for a worm skip? No. Unfortunately not. It was worth a shot, though. There goes the second worm. Now it's time for phase number 3. Well, thankfully Captain's looking good on health. He's got 99 health plus the E-tank, so 199 altogether. Or I believe that's 198. No, it's 190. It gives us 100, not 99. Alright, so far no worm rave. Captain's doing alright for time. Well, he's doing alright in general, I shouldn't say for time. No worm rave is a good thing. That's 2 down, 1 more worm to go. Alright, now what's interesting here is Baja's going to be taking a different route. It's going to be using the door to clip out of bounds of Great Temple. This lets them bypass the light beam block from Temple Transport, from the Torbus Transport access. This lets them bypass, gets into UMOS 1, and get into the Dark Alpha Splinter fight, as well as Temple Transport A. Yep, doing a great job triggering the cutscene from underneath to pop you back in bounds. And Captain was not happy about a missile expansion being on a Morbus. Not even going to bother returning the entry from that, so it does not look like Mining Plaza has anything useful. Meanwhile, Baja's making quick work of the mini Alpha Splinters with a power bomb, destroying them all in one shot. And now say hi to Albert, and goodbye to Albert. Albert the Alpha Splinter. Ooh, now see, I might be correct in our plan of early Torvus. We've got a gravity boost hiding on the Dark Alpha Splinter. Alrighty, so Captain's coming back to the light Aegon, and it looks like UMOS 1 has a light ammo expansion, and the hint tells us where the missile launcher is. Well, game, I greatly appreciate that insight, but unfortunately you're about 15 minutes late on that hint. Oh, look at that. Oh, Dark Visor is hiding on Temple Transport A. Or that's B. I keep getting those two backwards. So with Dark Visor in hand, that lets us get the ink cache in Battlegrounds. We're able to see what that beam ammo expansion is. Unfortunately, our runners are not able to get into Battlegrounds yet, as we have no access to Dark Labs. What's hiding underneath the elevator and the other temple transport? Baja looks like it's going to be, looked to me at least a power bomb expansion. I could be wrong on that. And Baja thankfully taking a safety save after all that work. Yeah, looks like we'll be heading towards Sanctuary. Nope, Captain uses time to lift the lockdown in Pirate Labs. This gives them access to the entirety of labs now. I wasn't able to see what was hiding on the reactor core, or whichever this room name is. I believe I'm getting that wrong. Transit Center. What does Transit Center have, Baja? Does it have anything good? That's alright, we'll look at it next time. Oh, this is a reactor core. I always get that room backwards. Looks like a missile expansion hiding up there, so I think we're good on missiles for now. We got a good handful. And Captain using his time to enter Pirate Labs, going to be entering bioenergy production in just a second. Possibly heading for Dark Samus 1 to see if she has anything useful. Thankfully, we are able to get out of Dark Samus 1 and main reactor. Although with vanilla, you do need Dark Beam to activate the light crystals and lower the gate. For some reason, Screw Attack also triggers the crystals to lower the gate. So with that knowledge in hand, we're able to get out of that room. Looks like we have an energy tank on all of the Honored. More energy is always helpful, Baja. Now with 2 energy tanks, yeah, we are able to peek. We are able to see what's on Hazen Cliff. We're not able to get it as we are light beam. I believe we are light beam locked out of that. Could have been our energy transfer module, it could have been light ammo. Or it could have been something I'm completely skipping. Because that looked like our ETM hiding over there in the spider ball track. Alrighty, Captain deciding not to head into sand processing right now, as we're not really able to get the item without boost ball. We can pull off a trick as mentioned earlier, but it's not required right now. As mentioned earlier, going to open the gate, and we're going to say hi to Dark Samus for the first time. Hi there, buddy. How's it going today? Oh, I'm sorry, we just missed you. And Flying in Cache has a missile-related upgrade for Baja over in Hive Dynamo. And what's hiding behind Dark Samus 1? It's a cheeseburger. Oh my. What a wonderful item. As mentioned earlier, we are able to... We did see Dark Samus only for a short time, as power bombs practically insta-kills her when done on the right. when done properly. In my opinion, it's best to go to the left side of the reactor, approach Dark Samus, wait for her to swipe you away with her energy shield, and then plant it immediately after. That way, her animation of lowering the shield takes priority, and the power bomb kills her. Well, this so far has been an amazing race. You know, both runners are doing wonderful so far. They're doing great jobs, amazing planning and routing with the tools they have available to him. Captain does not have his dark visor yet. He has not visited Great Temple, and unfortunately, Baja did take the death to the Amorphous fight. But we're still early on in this race. It's anyone's game, and we're going to see how this plays out. Baja using his time to go back and kill the Bomb Guardian once again. We already killed him once, but he decided to come back, so we're going to have to pay him another visit. Although I understand why Bomb Guardian's a little bit angry. How would you feel if somebody came into your temple and started hitting you? Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, folks. If you miss the power bomb, if you don't get both the tail and the head of Bomb Guardian at the same time, it does not trigger the insta-kill, the damage does not go through, and Bomb Guardian continues to live. Unfortunately, we will have to do this fight a little bit slower. Pulling off a great three cycle. Recollecting his Sky Temple keys, Baja, but Captain picking up a much better item. We have our Dark Beam hiding on Dark Missile Trooper. Wow, that's something you don't want to see. Having to defeat Bomb Guardian just to come back to Temple to pick up your Dark Beam. You're correct, Shine Spark and Mart. 42 minutes in, and we already have we have our Dark Beam. Alright, if I was Captain, well, where would I be trying to head right now? Well, he's got his Dark Beam, he's got a Screw Attack, he's got Spider Ball and Power Bombs. Well, he could head up to Great Temple, pick up his Gravity Booster, and then make a quick play to Torvus if he's got access to it. Could continue into Dark Labs, possibly pick up Battle... I can't get Battleground as we have no access to that yet. Yeah, we can't get out of Dark Labs as we still don't have any way of getting back to the Light World. Or... yeah. No, I think we can't access the save station, do a save warp back to Light Aegon. Now, Baja's just retracing his steps here, going to be collecting his items that he lost, sadly, to the death. And as I was stating earlier, looks like Captain's probably heading into a Torvus play. He's got Dark Beam, so he is able to get past Torvus Lagoon. Now, if this door wasn't Dark Beam locked, then we'd have no problem. Unfortunately, it is. But also finding out the hint for Poison Bog has a missile-related upgrade. And what does Torvus Lagoon have for us? Anything good? Ah, can't see through the haze of the water. What are the chances of Light Beam being vanilla? Well, it's completely possible. But let's see. Well, we do have access to dark labs. We could go around. Yeah, it's entirely plausible that Light Beam is vanilla. Although if it's not, we don't really have a way back unless you go through the save station. And look at that, we have our Seeker missiles. That gives us at least one check over in Dark Torvus. Right. And our map station is locked by Amber. Thankfully we do have Amber. Alright, let's see what our elevators in Torvus have for us today. We have, hiding underneath in Lower Torvus, transport to St. Spider Side. Alrighty, well that's not bad. Sort of vanilla. Instead of one-sided sanctuary, it's sent it to the other! What an interesting way to change up the elevator. Baja, you taking this time to lift the lockdown and over in Command Center. And we have a Sky Temple key hiding on the Great Bridge or Forgotten Bridge, one of those two. But hiding behind that little morph ball tunnel. Can't go wrong with a free Sky Temple key. Alright, Captain, show us what you got hiding on Torvus Temple today. Do you have your super missiles here? Or maybe a light beam? What do you think's going to be here? Oh my, it's another Sky Temple key. We're finding Sky Temple keys left and right, everyone. Unfortunately, our tracker Op82 is currently away from his keyboard, so our tracker is a little bit outdated. Just for the record, I believe this is that's 2 more pickups for Captain Sky Temple keys. Baja has his gravity booster and dark visor included, though Captain does not have those 2 items. But we do have bombs, so we can head into the little track, pick up our morph ball, our boost ball. That's a great question, Sign Sparking Mart. Seeing in the comments, asking where supers are. Super missiles could be a number of places. Yeah, if I had to take a bet, I would hope that super missiles are hiding somewhere in. I would prefer them to be at least somewhere, maybe in Torvus, Dark Torvus, possibly. No, I would hope it's not on Chica, though. That would be a terrible place for it. On the meantime, Baja's heading out of bounds in bioenergy production. Going to check the super missile door. And behind the super missile door, we have a Sky Temple key. Alright, Baja. Well, Baja's doing great out of bounds work. Unfortunately, since he doesn't have super missiles, he's not able to leave the room. But we're going to have to do some more out of bounds nonsense. There's a little bit of geometry that when using screw attack will force you underneath the actual collision of the room into the Aether box. It's just a matter of getting that finicky screw attack. Alrighty, now let's see what do we have going on. Oh, we have Captain making a fantastic first attempt screw attack in main reactor, picking up his Emerald Translator. Interesting place for that though. But we did see earlier that sand cache was emerald locked, so we are able to see what is behind door number 1. Also, with boost ball in hand, we're able to get sand processing without having to do a wicked standable on the turret. And Baja's having a little bit of trouble trying to get out of bounds in bioenergy. Hopefully, he gets it in the next few minutes. Alright, let's see, what do we have in sand processing? We have our light beam! Well, great news for the runners, it is not on Chica. Bad news is they have a lot of their game opened up now. Now Baja making great work, picking up the out of bounds. Just a few minutes. Not terrible time. Thankfully for Captain, with that light beam in check, he's able to head to Sand Canyon. He's able to get the transport item, and he's able to get the elevator behind the power bomb door. So, was this worth a light beam? We're about to find out. And applause to Baja for pulling off an amazing out of bounds. All that for a Sky Temple key. Great work, because trying to come back here with super missiles, it could be a little bit of a trek just to come back for it. Especially if you're not in Aegon when you find your supers. Now we have a missile expansion on Sand Canyon though. Gotta love more missiles. But thankfully, now that he has Light Beam, Captain's able to check all 3 items from Mine Shaft, Mining Station B, and the little storage room. Now, as we see, as Baja usually does, we have more out of bounds nonsense for him going on today. But he's doing it wonderfully. And the Echo Visor is one way a room from Sky Temple Key 7 or 9, one of those two. And I may be mistaken, but that looks like our Cobalt is hiding up where Dark Burst usually is. Sky Temple Key 9 is what the chat's saying. I'm going to agree with chat on that one. Well, look at that! There's Sky Temple Key 9! Wonder where that could be. You know, the second we say something here on SpeedGaming, it usually happens. I sure as heck hope I was not misinformed about Mining Station having some sort of visor in it. Because if it did, well, it can't be Echo Visor, as you need Echo Visor to get Mining Station. I'm thinking about that backwards. Well, we know it can't be there. Captain's gonna go ahead and try to skip the entire puzzle. That way he doesn't have to do with this vanilla. With a bomb space jump and a screw attack, he's able to get the item in no time. Meanwhile, Baja pulling off sand processing, picking up his light beam. And with Spider Ball intact, he's probably going to be following the same steps as Captain, going for the elevator, and picking up Sand Canyon. Now I see Chris asking in the chat where Dark Beam was. Yeah, it was hiding on Dark Missile Trooper of all places. That's an interesting place to have a beam hiding, let alone your Dark Beam of all things. Dark Beam, Dark Missile Trooper. Yeah, I'm sure they go hand in hand. He's probably just holding on to it for good luck. Alrighty, and Captain making great work picking up his Echo Visor. So I was incorrect, it was not Cobalt, that was Echo. I clearly need to get my glasses cleaned. But with Echo Visor in hand, Dark and Light Beam. We still don't know where Annihilator Beam is, though. And Baja picking up his Emerald Translator, and the hint for Dark Oasis, which is a missile-related upgrade. I would take the thinking that Dark Labs would be the play to go, clear out Battlegrounds, and see what's hiding on Incache 3, see where Light Beam check is. Granted, we still don't know where our super missiles are, so Warrior's Walk is out of the question. And same for Torus Energy Controller. We're not able to get that without supers. So with the equipment both runners have, I would think that the play at hand, try to, well, for Captain at least, try to go to Great Temple, figure out where your gravity booster is. I'd possibly head for Torvus, try to get some of that cleared out. But again, Dark Labs, now that we have Light Beam, this makes getting out of Dark Labs a whole heck of a lot easier. And plus, we know that the Incache has something handy. I believe it was some sort of beam-related upgrade. Now we have Baja heading back towards Temple Grounds, picking up hints for super missiles, which are in Dark Aegon Battleground. Well, look at that. Hopefully Captain checks Battleground to get his super missiles. Well, let's hope Battleground is not the Incache as a... Well, actually, no. I did... No, I don't think Captain picked up his Dark Visor yet. Oh, yeah, he picked up his Echo, not his Dark Visor. So Baja did just find out the hint about super missiles, with the super missiles being in Battleground. So we know where they are, it's just a matter of getting to them. Now, Captain's problem is it the items standing alone with the Warrior Ink fight, or is it the Incache? If it's the Incache, I'll have to come back for him. He's not happy about that one. It's sitting right there in the open. Well, this definitely puts a lot of Torvus into play here, folks. We're about to see what happens. Excuse me. Yeah. Well, we know that the Incache doesn't have anything good for us then. It's a beam-related upgrade, if I recall the hint properly. And Baja going back to Temple, picking up his last Dagon key for a Morbus. Meanwhile, this puts Warriors walking the logic for Captain with his super missiles. Although the item does not appear to be that useful. Oh, and Captain just missed the snipe on the door. But thankfully he picked up all those missile expansions earlier, and he's able to get it again. Utilizing this time, Incache 4 appears to be where he's heading. Get that check out of the way. In my experience, Incache 4 usually has some sort of progression for someone. So we'll see if that follows true this day, while Baja takes the time to check the sand cache. What is hiding behind this door all this time? It's been a lonely energy tank. And I was correct. Incache 4 has progression. It's a Cobalt translator. Granted, that could be completely useless, but with random translators, we still are yet to see what translators are in our Torvus gates and our Sanctuary gates. Alright, we're coming up on the 1 hour mark, everyone. So far, both runners are doing an amazing job. Baja did take an early death to the Morbus in the 20-minute mark, but he's coming back like a champion. He's making great progression. He's making an amazing time save from the original loss. Captain, on the other hand, is still progressing. He's got his super missiles in hand, possibly heading towards Great Temple, now that he's got all of his translators. Or he could be heading towards Torvus. Granted, Sanctuary is not out of the question, so we could be going a number of places, but with super missiles in hand, I would strongly suggest heading towards the Torvus area. And Baja also picking up his super missiles. Remember, he had the hint for that back in Temple Grounds. While Captain picks up another energy tank courtesy of Sand Cache. Now Baja did come here with Dark Visor, so we are able to see what's in that little the itty bitty ink cache. And it looks just to be some ammo expansion. Alright, it looks like Captain's gonna be heading towards the elevator here right after Sand Canyon. Really should have wrote these elevators down. But either way. And we are heading into Torvus. Alrighty. Super missiles in hand, this is bound to have something great coming from it. And personally, as I said, in the last few weeklies for Metroid Prime 2, we've had our lower Torvus practically almost fully wiped out. It's been fully deleted. So maybe we'll get some bad luck and we'll have to go fight the Alpha Blog or the Power Bomb Guardian. Anything's possible today, especially with odd settings. But with Seekers in hand as well, Captain could be going for his Sky Temple hints. That is indeed what Captain is heading for. He's going to pick up his hints with 2 energy tanks. Alrighty. If I remember correctly, he's got about 3 to 4 of his keys, only missing roughly 5 to 6 of them. And we have a red key hiding behind the Dark Visor door. If I had to take a wild guess... could be Ing Hive. Oh, I believe there was a hint for a Torvus key hiding in Sky Temple, and that very well could be that one. Alrighty. Yep, Captain taking the smart play here, trying to take down the eyes. That way his missiles won't get blocked and he won't take damage trying to fire them off. And he gets a first try. In the meanwhile, we have a movement system that says our Morph Ball can be used. That's a great hint, game. I wonder if the runners know that. Although Captain does have to be careful here. We don't have any suits and we're going to get our hints. And we're down to 1 energy tank. How many keys do we have today? We have 4. That was correct. Must find 5. Where are those 5 at? Key number 1 is at Hive Gyro Chamber. Alright, not bad. Key 2 is hiding on Torvus Grove. Storage C in Aegon. Now remember, Storage C is the one Baja went out of bounds for in bioenergy. Locked behind super missiles. Key number 4 is Med Vista. And key number 5 is hiding on Storage B over in Aegon. Alrighty, so that leaves, let's see, let's do the numbers on this, folks. We have 2 keys hiding in Aegon Waste, pretty much back to back. We have 2 keys hiding in Torvus, one on Grove, one on Meditation Vista. And unfortunately, the worst one of them all, we do have 1 key in Hive Gyro Chamber. That's the most out of the way. Thankfully, Captain's using his time wisely to grab some health. That way he doesn't die trying to come back out of his hints. And Baja, being Baja, takes him out of bounds and gets a first try, bypassing the Seeker door, as he did not visit Torvus yet to pick up his Seeker launcher. But being an hour in, having no suits yet, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's always better to have the hints than run around aimlessly trying to find them. And Baja pulling it off like a champion. His health is running a little bit low. Thankfully, using Screw Attack, we do take limited damage while in Screw Attack. Baja only has 2 keys. He is missing 7, so he's got a journey ahead of him. Baja's missing a key on Hive Gyro. Key 2 on Storage A or Storage B. Torvus Grove. Med Vista. Torvus Temple. Storage B, so Storage B and C. And the Great Bridge. Although Baja's going to go ahead and take the death here, as there's not enough energy to make it back, let alone with the out of bounds. Yep, Captain's running. Captain's out of energy tanks though, but hey, that's no problem for Captain. He's just going to Screw Attack his way through these pirates. And if I was Captain, I would probably head straight for get the 2 Torvus keys out of the way. Then probably warp to start, get the Aegon keys. And then go find your sank elevator and get Hive Gyro out of the way. As Hive Gyro is going to be the worst one of them all. It's an easy key to get, it's just out of the way. What's Captain missing for go mode here? Well, let's see. He's got everything he needs for 1, 2, 3, 4. He can get all 4 of those. Torvus Grove. He could. It's not Lagoon, that's Grove. I believe Captain might already be in go mode. He could go for his safety suit, but I don't believe he will really need it outside of trying to cut through Wing Hive. So outside of all that, Captain's practically in go mode. He's got the super missiles for Storage B. Storage C, he's got his Dark Beam and Light Beam for. Meditation Vista, he's got a Screw Attack for. Hive Gyro Chamber is Boost Ball and Spider Ball. And Torvus Grove is Torvus Grove. Can get that, no problem. Baja, on the other hand, with his hints in place. Speaking of Torvus Grove, there we are. Yes, to answer your question in chat, we are running our odd settings today. So this week, our final bosses are turned off. We do not need to fight Emperor Ing, and we do not need to fight Dark Samus 3 and 4. The only real issue that we have here is cutting through Dark Gator suitless. Now that's not a problem, as both runners have 3 E-tanks. They're both highly skilled and able to maneuver with little to no issues. Alrighty, our runners are making great pacing so far. Just over an hour in, and they're doing absolutely phenomenal with their route. Now, here's the problem. Captain does not have his gravity booster to make moving through lower Torvus that much easier. So with that being said, we'll be seeing some air underwater. Now, for those unaware, air underwater is a trick used in water that when just entering water and morphing on the same frame, it puts Samus into an awkward state where she's able to continuously jump and screw attack. So by using the screw attack underwater, we're able to get Hydro Dynamo with no issue, and without our grav booster. Although all game has pretty much been locked in Aegon and Temple. Hopefully Baja gets to another area soon, picks up his Seekers, picks up his a little bit more items, and gets rocking and rolling. And here we see what it looks like when two elevators go side by side. What an interesting view. One takes you up, one takes you down. One leads in a sanctuary, one leads in a temple. Well, Captain's heading for his last Sky Temple key. He's got everything else from Torvus and Aegon. Now it's just time to head over to Hive Gyro and get that darn key. Nope, I was correct. That's our energy transfer module hiding on that little spider ball track. Well, thankfully we do not need to pick that up, as logically speaking, all of our temple bosses are deleted. We don't need Chica at all. We don't need Quadraxis. Even though Morbus was hinted at, and we had the keys for him early, we didn't need to go fight him. Didn't have anything useful for us today. Although on that, the one boss that was required, surprisingly, was our Dark Missile Trooper. That boss held back practically a lot of the game. Oh, and Captain making a fatal error, getting struck by the tentacle, flying down Hive Gyro. Thankfully making a quick recovery, and he's stuck on the underside. Oh, pulls it off, gets his key, gets hit by the tentacle, but thankfully there's a safe zone right underneath and right along the initial track. And for the third or fourth time today, Baja's going out of bounds. This time, he's finally entering Torvus Bog. And with the safe station right next to Hive Gyro, we're able to warp out of here and not take the long way home. Well, looks like Baja's going to be picking up his Torvus Temple key. Out of all the places, you love seeing a key right there in the open. Thankfully, all of our Sky Temple keys have practically been in the open today. We had some locked behind Dark Beam, we had some locked behind our Screw Attack and Power Bombs, but nothing crazy, nothing too far out of the way. Aside from Pipe Gyro Chamber, but that's a story for another day. Alrighty, so now we have Baja going to pick up his second Sky Temple key hiding in Torvus Grove. Now Baja's making great pace. Alrighty. Got 6 of his keys. Captain has 7. Gonna do some Torvus cleanup. Not Torvus, Aegon cleanup. What am I thinking? Here we are, coming across Storage B, which is a Dark Beam locked. Couldn't have done that until we came back after getting our Dark Beam from Missile Trooper. And making a beeline straight for Bioenergy to get Storage C. Although I am aware that I made the route backwards, I mentioned Torvus. I mentioned Aegon somewhere in the middle instead of Aegon last. I completely skipped the save station. Oh, my bad on that one. Alrighty, Baja's picking up key number 3, hiding behind the tree. And key number 4, hiding off a Meditation Vesta. I already picked it up in one fellow swoop. Didn't even need to use the platform. You know, that platform's there for a reason. It had one job to do. And unfortunately, well, that job was not required today. Not even going to bother to pick up the Emerald Hint, as we know where the last keys are. Who needs a platform? I'm seeing that in chat. I completely agree. Who needs a platform when you have Screw Attack? Alrighty, with key number 9 in hand, Captain has all of his Sky Temple keys. He's ready to head straight for the credits. We're an hour and 18 minutes in. As we come to the close, I'd like to thank everyone for joining me and Op today on this wonderful Metroid Prime 2 Randomizer Weekly. You know, it's been a great time. I completely enjoy seeing all these new faces in the community, seeing new and old generation alike getting into the game, into the community itself. You know, makes me smile a little bit. But on that note, we have Baja heading into his lower torus, picking up that one key hiding behind the statue. While we have Captain making his way into Temple grounds to reach Sky Temple. Either that or I'm completely wrong. Which would not be the first time. Now, interesting route choice here. Baja decided to take the I believe it's tunnel south to get to the statue. Not sure why he didn't go through the door right at the entrance. It does have gravity booster to get onto the platform. And we have Captain entering the Sky Temple. He's almost at the credits. We are about to see an amazing finish. And with that note, Baja's entering Sanctuary to grab a Zing Hive key. Grab the one off a Hive Gyro. Captain's turning in all of the Sky Temple keys. And he's about to be done. With an official time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, 52 seconds. Yeah, good game, great game. No, not a good game, it's been a great game between both runners. It's been amazing. Now, hopefully in a few minutes after all this happens, we'll get Captain and Baja in for an interview. Oh, that being said, I see in chat asking where the suits are. You know, that's piqued my curiosity as well. We have no idea where Dark Suit was, no Light Suit. Let's find out. Oh, Torvis Plaza and Sank Entrance. What a wonderful place. Now, on that note, how are you doing today, Captain?
Yeah, exactly. Especially considering that one of those was completely isolated.
That is true, my friend. Well, congratulations. Looks like you finished in first, an hour of 120. How do you feel overall? How do you think it went for you?
Relieved and confused at the same time, because my routing early game was complete trash. I last location Dark Beam because I was following logic, given that I didn't have missile launcher after I knew about main power bomb, so I figured, okay, missile launcher there's not going to be a whole lot behind Bomb Guardian or Labs. So I went straight to GFMC, picked up missile launcher after fighting Jump Guardian, got main power bombs, and then left behind DMT, thinking it wasn't going to be important, and then I went and fought a Morbus.
Yeah, unfortunately, Morbus was not very kind to you today, only hiding a, what was it, a little missile expansion?
It was a missile tank. It seemed too obvious, too.
Yeah, you could have thought, hey, maybe you had your light beam hiding on there like a few weeks ago. But, yeah, you found your keys fairly early for Morbus.
Yeah, I figured I'd route. We had a great warp to start point being mining station access. Pretty central spot in Aegon, can access everything else pretty quickly. The elevators were complete trash, though. Sanctuary was completely isolated.
Yeah, Sanctuary was most out of the way. On that note, how'd you feel about a key being on your Hive Gyro chamber with your elevators being so poorly randomized?
You know, it wasn't so bad in the end, because even though I had to go to Sank for Hive Gyro, at the very least I had an excuse to go in that direction anyway for Meditation Vista and Grove, so it was kind of on the way. Also, lucky missile expansion not forcing me to farm drops in Hydro Dynamo Station. Thanks, game.
Yeah, I got lucky with those. Thankfully, Prime 2's drops are a lot more consistent compared to Prime 1's.
Yeah, even still, I almost got screwed up a couple of times considering I wasn't getting a suit anytime soon.
That's fair, but unfortunately, you did a lot better than Baja. He did take a major time loss with the 25-minute mark. He,
Oh.
Worm Rave unfortunately got the better of Baja. He took a death on a Morbus.
Ouch. Yeah, I went to Trial Tunnel with no energy tanks, and then of course I go Spider Ball for Junction Site, and of course there's an energy tank right there.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking about that, looks like Baja's coming up to the end as well. He's got all 9 of his keys. Although he never went to Bridge to pick up his Seeker launcher though. So he does have to do the out of bounds through the Morph Ball tunnel.
Oh, he didn't go to Path of Roots?
He did not.
Oh, how did he? Oh, he must have gone through what leads to Torvus Temple? The Path of Ice elevator.
He did.
Yeah, the elevators getting around Aegon and Torvus were fine. It's just you had to make that detour to Sanctuary later, which, again, that wasn't too bad, because there was a save station right there. I figured I could route in the last 2 storage keys and then be on my way. And, of course, they're the 2 rooms I couldn't get last time, because I didn't have Supers and Dark Beam on the first pass.
Yeah, overall, it wasn't too bad. It was a fairly quick seed, I would say. All of your keys were back-to-back in their relative locations. You had Mid Vista, then you had Torvus Grove, and then both storages and Aegon.
Yeah. Still, I was honestly a little worried when I last location Dark Beam. I thought at that point that I was, and given that Dark Beam locked quite a few nice items, including Boost Ball and Seeker Missiles, if you were going to Torvus from the front, and then you needed you needed Boost anyway to get to Light Beam, which you needed to get to Super Missiles because they were right in Battleground again.
Yeah, Battleground had your Super Missiles of all things.
It's becoming a recurring trend, and it's a little concerning. Like I'm actually really glad I detoured to Mining Station B for Echo Visor when I did, before I went to Dark Labs, because I figured that was the only chance I was going to get to head through that area. And I was still looking at the time for Super Missiles, so...
Yeah, Dark Labs was not very kind, unfortunately. I had no logical access for the longest time. Speaking of that, welcome, Baja. How's it going today?
Hello.
GG, well,
Captain.
alrighty.
GG. So I guess you fought a Morbus the same time I did.
Yeah, didn't work out so great for me. And then I started doing weird stuff.
Yeah, my early game routing was complete trash because I last location Dark Beam following the logic for Jump Guardian to Missile Launcher to Bomb Guardian to DMT. What trash.
Yeah, I needed an STK behind Dark Visor because my weird stuff got me Dark Visor Gravity really, really early. But neither of them ended up being useful at all. In fact, Gravity slowed me down.
I wasn't even paying attention to where Dark Visor... I thought I saw where Dark Visor was, but it was in Great Temple. Oh, so you went all the way through to Great Temple from Sanctuary?
No, so I died to a Morbus and I hadn't saved before it, so I would have, if I wanted to do a Morbus again, I had to pick up all 3 keys and then go fight him again. And I was assuming he had something at that point. So I wall crawled through Temple Transport Amber into the rest of Great Temple, got to map out all the elevators, and then, yeah, Dark Visor and Grav were up there.
Yeah, the only 2 other elevators leading to Great Temple were Sank Entrance and Sank Vault. Sank was completely isolated this seed. Well, save for Lower Torvus, but you had to do that anyway to get the Hive Gyro key. Yikes.
Yep.
And overall, it was not a very generous seed. Aegon was completely packed, though, with a lot of progression in Aegon today.
Yeah, that tends to happen in random elevator settings. Although, I'll tell you what I was going to be even more annoyed at is if Dark Beam was vanilla, because that would have been 3 out of the last 5 seeds that I'd have rolled a vanilla Dark Beam.
Holy cow, that was a 15-minute death. Wow. Well, no, 15 plus our time delta. Oh my gosh, that was so bad.
Oh Yikes.
we were hoping you took a safety save somewhere, but
Overconfident. Yep.
yeah, when you spawn back in, we're thinking, oh no, you forgot the one thing.
I honestly thought it was a full reset. I was glad I had saved it all. Honestly. Um,
It wasn't too bad. You made a great comeback, though. You know, your routing and your overall locations were almost flawless to pick up your time.
hmm The shame storage C was a huge waste of time because I had to go back for storage B anyways.
Indeed, you seem to have a little bit of trouble with the screw attack out of storage C.
Yeah, that trick is
Yeah.
rough. Yeah.
The way I ultimately didn't get super missiles or dark beam before I got hints after super missiles and dark beam, so I ended up just doing storage B and C after I finished up in Hive Gyro.
Okay.
Because I had 5 keys left at the time, which were the 2 in behind Underground Tunnel in Torvis, Hive Gyro, Storage C, and Storage B. So the way I routed that was get the 2 Torvis keys, go to Lower Torvis, since that would lead me straight to Hive Gyro for that key, save warp, that would put me back in Aegon for the last 2 keys, and then from Storage C, bust out at Aegon Temple to go to Meeting Grounds that way.
hmm
That's a very interesting way. I might ask, is there anything you two would have done differently if given the opportunity for this seed? Anything you would change?
I mean,
Aside from the death, Baja?
I could have stood to get dark beam earlier. Yeah.
I'm in the same boat because there really was nothing stopping me from just taking that missile tank in Mining Station A and going straight to Bomb Guardian with it. Especially since by that point I probably would have gotten main power bombs then busted out. But
Okay. Yep, I did the same thing. I'm like, okay, I don't have launcher. It's not in logic to go that way or to lab, so I'm just going to leave. And then I made it all the way to Hive Chamber B and save warped, and I just one couple rooms short.
yeah, and I just nodded in disappointment at the super missiles in Battleground.
Yeah, Baja, you did find the hint for that over in Temple Grounds.
Yep. Yeah, that was a good hint.
I did too, but by that point I had it already.
Yeah, I found that a little bit late.
Yeah, the hints were okay. Actually, no, the hints were complete garbage because we only had access to Amber for the majority of the game.
Yeah.
Well, we had a couple Violets in Temple Grounds, but they were still pretty bad.
Yeah,
Did
your
you,
Cobalt hints were useless. Your Cobalt's hiding off of Mining Station B where Dark Burst is. That wasn't pretty. No, that was Echo. What am I thinking?
That was
That was
required. Cobalt was an in-cache 4 behind
Yeah,
Dark Beam.
Yep, I'm getting him flipped around.
Yeah, that was a lucky echo. I was mentally committed to trying to wall crawl Hive Chamber B, but I was really scared about doing it without a suit and only 3 or 4 E-tanks or whatever I had. So that echo was real nice. I'm curious, did you sequence break the light beam, Captain?
I did not.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I'm still not familiar with that particular BSJ onto the turret yet. It's on my list. I just haven't taken some time to dedicate to practicing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I ultimately ended up getting Dark Beam, getting Boost and Seekers in Torvis, going through the entrance in... Where was Torvis entrance? Temple Assembly Site.
Yep.
And went back to Aegon, save warping out of there to do the remaining Boost and Seekers checks in Aegon. And that led me to Echo Visor and Light Beam, which in turn led me to Super Missiles and Emerald Translator, which then I decided to go get hints, and it spelt itself out after that.
Yeah, once you found your hints, there was nothing stopping you from go mode.
Well, except maybe dying in Sky Temple Grounds because I forgot to safety save in a way that I could save scum those quickly. Oops.
Oh no.
Yeah, but that wasn't too rough though.
Yeah, luckily the game did reward me with the Underground Tunnel energy tank because by that point I was under 100 energy. And I was like, I need a heal, and I got a heal.
That was a little bit scary though for one of you almost dying to Hive Gyro Chamber. You frightened us a bit.
Yeah, that I definitely took a spank weed and then I made up for that by boosting straight to the save station ledge.
Yeah, you got a good boost off of that one though. Well, on that note, is there anything you two would like to add? Anything you'd like to say before we sign off for the day?
Nothing particular about the sea, but yeah, thank you for commentating for us today. Thanks, Op, for tracking.
Indeed, always a pleasure having our volunteers here. They really do make these take off without a hitch every single week.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering the fresh trash I keep rolling every single time.
Yeah, that's a story for a whole another day. We can
Oh,
fill a whole
yes.
podcast with that.
I really thought you'd roll Dark Beam Vanilla again.
I thought so too. I thought the same thing. I was going to be so mad because if I had, that would have been 2 weeklies in February, 3 this month. That would have been 3 out of 5 weeklies since we started these up again that I would have rolled Vanilla Dark Beam. Right now, it's just 2 out of 5, thankfully.
Oh, well, we'll see what next week holds for both of y'all.
Indeed.
In the meantime, thank you both for joining us today. It was amazing race to watch. Thank you up for your tracking skills. You did a great job as always. For those of you watching, follow both our runners. And on that note, have a great rest of the day and try to stay safe.
See you next mission, folks.
Yeah, take care, everybody.